Have you ever stopped to think about the fans behind a band? What is it about the music that keeps fans coming back for more? Or is there more? My name is Renee Lipsmeyer, and I am the host of this podcast, The Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. Each week, a fellow DMB fan joins the show to discuss their journey with the band. Welcome to the Space Between Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. If this is your first time listening to this podcast, first I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Every week I bring on a fan that loves a band that has been putting out music for over 30 years. Not only just putting out music, but performing live, which is just unbelievable that a band can do that for over 30 years. And so this week is like every week. I have not one, but two fans on this show. I love this. And so Ashley, Deborah, thank you so much for being on the show. If you can tell us who you are, where you're from, and when was the very first time you ever heard of the Dave Matthews Band?
Go ahead, Ashley.
Are you talking to me?
Whoever wants to go first. Yeah.
Okay, so I am Ashley Snyder. I am kind of from all over, but right now I live in Arkansas, Hot Springs Village.
See, look, Arkansas, whoop, whoop.
And I first heard of the Dave Matthews Band when I was 14, I guess, going on 15. I was in the car coming home from a spring play practice, and it was with the guy that I had a crush on, like, all my freshman year. He was a senior, and he was playing Say Goodbye. And I had no idea what the song really meant until later, but yeah, it was amazing, and ever since then I've been listening, and they've gone through, like, every single point of my life. I was a single mom for a while, and I would listen to live at Radio City, and it would literally get me through the nights, like, just, you know, and then I lost my son. He was 11, and just every single, like, album, just listening to it has healed and helped me heal.
Wow. First of all, I want to say thank you for being open to sharing your story. I can't imagine on any level how hard that must have been, but also hard to talk about, right? So yes, Ashley, thank you so much for being open to sharing that. I know that your words and your experience will be used to help other people heal and to identify that music can help heal. And so we'll definitely dig more into your story. So we have Deborah on this show as well. Deborah, tell us who you are, where you are, and when did you hear of this band?
My name is Deborah Diaz, and the first time I heard Dave Matthews, my oldest son had gone to a concert in Charlotte, North Carolina with some friends, and he came over to Holland to visit me, and he had Live at Red Rock. So put the CD in. He said, "Mom, you're going to love this." And I did. I loved it.
You did, automatically.
I did. It was just, I mean, Trippin' Billies came on. I thought, oh, this okay. You know, that's my feel-good song. So anytime I'm down the dump,
Yes.
Trippin' Billies, that just brings me right back up. And
Yes, it does.
all three of my boys are fans, but I'm sort of the obsessed one.
Nah, you just love them a lot.
I do. And I'm raising a second generation, or I guess a third generation of DMB fans. I've got a bunch of grandchildren, and one of my granddaughters, she will always say, "Put Dave on" when we're going somewhere in the car. So my youngest grandson, he'll say, "Play Caillou on the Bayou," because his name is Caleb, and his dad calls him Caillou, so he thinks that song was written for him.
Of course, it's his, yeah.
And then one of my younger granddaughters got in the car with her granddad, and he said, "What kind of music you want?" "Put Dave Matthews on."
You gotta love that. That's amazing. I mean,
raising them up right.
Yeah, and you said you have 12, is that right? 12
I have
grandchildren?
14 right now.
14 grandchildren. Oh my goodness, you
15.
wow, that's amazing. What a blessing. Yeah, I know. She's like, I have noise canceling earphones for a reason. I totally get you. Well, mama's got to have it. Grandma's got to have it too. Well, guys, thank you again for being willing to be on this show. I can't wait to dig into your Dave stories. So you heard Dave for the very first time. And what was it that you both liked about it? I mean, I know that Deborah, you had mentioned that, it's kind of uplifting and catchy, but as you grew through your fanhood, what was it that you could identify yourself in this music?
This was my connection with my boys. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the first thing. And I mean, even back in like MySpace days, do you remember MySpace?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do.
Well, I mean, I had like, MySpace was all, Dave Matthews
Yeah.
Band. I met so many fans. And that was one of the best things about the band is the fans, the DMV family that you met. When
Absolutely.
I lived near Amsterdam, people congregated at my house when they came to Europe to play. So I miss my European Dave Matthews fans, not from Holland, from England and from Germany and from Portugal. Those are the people that I've missed this past month.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But Florida has such a big group of fans as well. So you moved to a great area.
I've seen one fire dancer the whole time I've been here, and I travel from Mississippi to Maryland and back to Florida, and then from Florida to Maryland to Mississippi, and I have never seen a fire dancer on anybody's car.
I don't see them often. Ashley, do you see them often?
I do see one here in the village.
Really?
Just one.
Oh, hey, yeah, I need to introduce you to somebody. Or I don't know if I sent you someone's name, but I actually do know another big Dave Matthews Band fan that lives in Hot Springs Village,
Oh, that is
which
crazy.
is crazy. It's crazy because Hot Springs Village is not a big city at all.
That's probably who I keep seeing.
Probably so, because my guess would that she would have a fire dancer on anything she's driving. Yeah, I'll have to contact her later and hook you up because I don't think you can ever have enough friends. But also, if you know people that live in your city, then let's get together and talk about Dave because she's totally down to do that. So I will definitely make sure that you guys get hooked into that. So after I always say this on the show, like you never have to see them live to be a fan, right? Like you could just know them from the radio, you could know them from the CDs or the albums that you've bought. But typically, what I hear in my experience talking to a lot of fans is that once they saw them live, like their feelings about the band completely changed because not only was there, the music and all the things, but then of course, like you said, Deborah, there's the fan life that you get exposed to. So I want each of you to take us to your very first show and talk about how that kind of maybe even transformed your love for this band even more.
Do you want to go first, Deborah?
Okay. I saw him 2005 for the first time, and I went to the show, and I literally cried through the first three songs
Yeah.
because I thought there's no way that they could be as good as what I've built it up to be,
Sure.
And then Spaceman came on. I'd never heard Spaceman before. I thought, what is this? Because I mean, I knew all the rest of the songs that they'd put out forever. They had tons of stuff.
Yeah.
So what is this? So I stopped crying, paid attention, and that was my first exposure to live DMV.
What do you think it was that caused the tears to flow? What was it? Was it just like that you were finally there, or was it watching them, or was it the lyrics?
No, I'd just been a fan for so long that I was just finally so glad because they don't come to Europe very often. So I missed them at Peak Pop in '95. That's a big festival that they have in Holland. But they don't come very often. So I was just so happy that they were there.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. It's a big deal when they come to your hometown in general. Like obviously your country that you get that way less, but across the board, whenever they come to like your home, it just feels different, right? Like it is a different feeling. I'm always ready for them to come back to Arkansas, which they're not doing this year. So Ashley and I know we're both bummed. We don't get it. Arkansas is not a very big state, but he does come here like every other year ish, and so those concerts are just like it's so cool to have Dave and the boys like in your city, like looking at the things that eating in the restaurants you eat at, and so it's really cool. So Ashley, when was your first live show?
It was in 2001, the summer of 2001, and I got pregnant shortly after when I was 17.
Is it a Dave baby?
Yes, she's always been a Dave baby. So, yeah.
Do you remember like what your thoughts were when you
It was
stood there?
really incredible. I had been a long time fan, and when I saw them live for the first time, I was crying. It was with my brother as well, and he's like, I told you they were a good band, even though like he'd never introduced them. He actually met Dave and told them that I was his biggest fan, but
Really?
I don't know how that went. I don't know.
That's cool. That's cool. How did he meet Dave? Like where
He
just
was
right
at a
place, right
coffee
time?
bar in Seattle or somewhere up there, and yeah, it was insane.
Happened. Well, that's cool. That's really cool. So, what was your first venue that you saw him? Since he doesn't.
It was in Dallas.
Oh,
Is when I
okay.
first saw him. Yeah.
Yeah, at least we can count on Dallas. Like Dallas is always going to get Dave, and that's not too far for us in general. So, that's we can count on Dallas always. I wish he would do like Kansas City or Tulsa. Because those are bigger cities and they're great cities for people to want to visit, especially Kansas City now with the Chiefs, and all that they do. Like it's just a really cool city to be in. So, hey, Dave Matthews Band, come to Kansas City. We would love that. Barbecue. I mean, music. It's the best town to see a concert in. So let's move forward in your journey. Now, of course, I'm going to kind of spill the beans before we talk about it. But you guys are both admins of a very busy, very popular group on Facebook. And if you're listening to this and you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, Facebook has hundreds of Dave Matthews Band related groups or pages. And so this is just a way to get connected into the community. If you want to know, who lives in my area or who's going to be at that show, or I just want to get to talk to people that get it because a lot of us maybe live in a house or a city or a state where we never see other Dave fans, so it's just cool to have those connections. So you guys, I definitely want to talk about how in the world you get to that point where you're like, hey, let's start a group on Facebook. Whose idea was it?
I started the group in
You started the group.
2012 is when I started.
What was your thoughts like going into it? Like what were you thinking?
I only knew of like a couple other Facebook groups out there, and I didn't really like one of them, so I left.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna start my own. So all my friends back then were Dave fans that
Yeah.
I just kind of interconnected with, and I started just inviting them all, like all of them. And that's how it started. But Deb has been the one, just the heart of the group. She is amazing, like always on there, always posting set lists like nonstop. I'm just like blown away by her hard work on there. She's really kept it going, so I really appreciate that with her.
So Deborah, did you just join the group and then Ashley, you kind of took notice of how much she was pouring into it, and then did you just ask her to be an admin, or how did that work out?
I don't even
I
remember.
think Steve introduced us.
Yeah.
And he was like, you got to meet this girl, and she was gonna be great.
Well,
So-
Steve had a printing business in Florida, and him and I did some shirts and things like that. And he got a cease and desist order from Red Light Management one time, so we had to cease
Oh,
and
dear.
desist because we were doing good
Mhm.
business. So I had ordered something
Yeah.
from Steve. I called him up and I said, or I talked to him and I said, "Where's my order?" "Well, what did you order?" And I told him what I ordered, and he said, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "You need a secretary." He said, "You're hired." So that's how I met
Hey.
secretary
You
for a while.
You're the secretary of the Dave Matthews Band. Don't you wish it was like the Dave Matthews Band? That'd be great. But this is the real DMB. Oh, so the group name is the real DMB family. Is that correct?
Right, right. Yeah.
Awesome. So if anyone's listening to this and you're like, hey, I really want to get connected, search that group, the real DMB family. And I'm sure that there may be, a couple questions to get in. But again, these groups are such good ways to get connected, especially as we're moving through tour season, the US summer tour. I think everybody's just got so much to say, literally, when it's tour season because we're excited. The set list is ever changing and surprising, and it's just like Christmas over and over and over for me. I think you guys feel the same way. So definitely be sure to check out this group on Facebook. So let's jump back into, okay, you've seen them one time. And did you automatically leave the show going, okay, well, I have to do this again?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
But I was in Amsterdam, so I mean they only come to Europe every 5 years, so I was like, wow, But,
Right.
when they
Right.
came back, I had a bigger group around me, so it was more of a family thing, family get together. So everybody spent the night at my house, and they came from Germany and from England, and I mean, we just had a wonderful time. And I arranged the pre-party or pre-show get-together kind of things. And
Yeah.
I'm sort of an organizer.
I love that. Somebody has to be. So thank you for offering up your talents, because it does things work better, especially when you're doing all of these things, for just there to be at least one organizer, one planner, one person that keeps you on time. Like it takes all different kinds of people. And so thanks for offering up your talents, because, we all know that none of us are making money or getting paid to do this. This is just stuff we like to do in our fun time, in our free time. But also it can be a lot of work. I know that being an admin to a large group, and it sounds like you guys kind of have a team when it comes to, approving posts or, having rules and having to enforce those rules. I mean, it just takes a team of people. So, again, thank you for what you're doing for the fans of the Dave Matthews Band, because it's just, it takes everyone, and we have all somehow created this universe that kind of is around the Dave Matthews Band that just makes it even more fun. And a lot of people will tell you that it is the fans of this band that is almost primary when it comes to the Dave Matthews Band. Like the music is what got us there, but like the fans kind of move into that first position play. And it's a hard juggle, but you're like, I like both and I want to keep both, right? And so thank you guys for what you're doing. So after how long have you been in Florida, Deborah?
I've been back from Holland for 5 years, so I split my time between near Orlando. I didn't say that before. Altamont Springs, which is north of or just south of Orlando, north of Orlando. Sorry, and the rest on the coastal Mississippi by Gulfport, Mississippi.
Oh,
So I've
yeah.
got two different home bases.
That's awesome. I mean, I don't know how close your grandchildren live, but Orlando, I'd like to think that they just love coming to see you because, of course, Disney's close. There's the beach is close. There's fun things in Florida.
I go to see them because they live here.
Oh, you go to see them.
Apartment here. So I go to see them, and then I go to Mississippi to see the other grandchildren. So I'm back and forth. But I've been back from Holland for almost 5 years.
Now, I'm trying to peg your accent.
I'm from Tennessee originally.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I've lived all over the place, and I lived 23 years in Holland.
Well, I don't think you have a European accent at all. I think I would, if I had never heard you and just only heard your voice, I'd say you're from the South.
From Tennessee. Well, yeah. When I spoke Dutch, I told them I was from Southern Holland.
It's just Southern whatever you're speaking, If you speak Spanish, it's Southern Spanish. Like, and there's different dialects of the Southern, I guess, what do you call it? there's just different dialects, like because people that are from accents, yeah, I lost that word, Georgia versus Texas versus Mississippi and Alabama and Tennessee, like everybody's kind of got their own little way to do it, and so it's hard to peg an accent. But I love it. I love a good Southern accent, only because I'm partial, right, Ashley? Like that's what we know. That's the people around us are speaking that way, and so
Oh yeah.
I swear to God, y'all, until I started doing this podcast, nobody ever around me sounded any different than I did, right? So I just didn't think about it. And so someone said something about my accent, and I was like, I don't have an accent. No one has ever mentioned that ever before. And they're like, no, you have an accent. I'm like, oh, I don't think so. Apparently we have accents, y'all. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So I was born and raised in Texas and moved to Arkansas 20 years ago. So I've just only lived here. So that's just how we sound. So Ashley, like I know that you've got kids now. We talked about Deborah. She's got kids and grandkids now, and they're still coming. I mean, what a blessing to be surrounded by so much love. Of course, you've got several kids, Ashley, and I know that two of them are just, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see they're just like waiting with bated breath to like get on camera and talk about Dave. So because this is such a passion for you, Ashley, obviously that kind of ran off into motherhood and children, and they've been exposed to the Dave Matthews Band, whether they wanted to be or not, right? So it just became part of their life. So Ashley, introduce us to the girls, and then I'd love to hear what they think about the Dave Matthews Band.
What do you guys think?
I like it. Yeah, I love it. It's so great. I love going out to see the concerts and the lights, and seeing how a bunch of other people will love it too.
Yes, I love that. It's contagious to watch people be happy. It makes you happy. So now you're Lyra, right? And again, I love that name. I had not heard it. Lyra. Such a great name. And then Luna, you are 9 years old. What do you like about going to a Dave Matthews Band show?
I like all of the concerts, and I like all of the songs, and I love watching it.
Yeah. It's so much fun. Do you girls like to dance when you're at shows?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at a Dave Matthews Band concert, you're definitely not going to be the only one dancing. Like everybody is dancing, and that's part of the fun, right? Like you just know you go and you have a good time, and there are those lights, because the lights are amazing. I mean, it's a whole show, just the lights that they do, and so it is so much fun. And then there's the food, right? Let's be real. Like I love all the snacks and stuff at the venues. There's always good food. Do you guys like to get snacks and stuff when you're there as well? Oh yeah. That's usually what my kids are doing, is I'm running back and forth to get them snacks and taking them to the bathroom. So it's just like a lot of running back and forth. But I'm so glad you guys are into it, because some kids really are not into it. So you guys have great taste in music. What else are you guys listening to? Like if I were to walk into your bedroom and look at your music, what is it that you like to listen to outside of the Dave Matthews Band?
I like to listen to sea shanties, all the pirate stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube about that. My smallest daughter is totally into that too. She likes that. Luna, let's see. Luna, Lyra, I'm going to mess y'all up. Y'all look a lot alike. Luna, what do you like to listen to outside of the Dave Matthews Band?
I like to listen to fun music and all.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite person that sings or plays music? No. I have to ask you this only because I'm a big fan, and you can say no. It won't hurt my feelings, but do y'all like Taylor Swift?
Nope.
No. Okay. Well, hey, that's fair. You know what? I think that's totally fair. There are people that don't like her, and there are people that like her, and so I'm just trying to gauge what you like. I have daughters as well, and so their music is completely different than mine, but it makes me learn about who's out there. And there's so many great people that make music. But I love that you guys love the Dave Matthews Band. Do you guys have any interest in playing instruments now,
Yeah.
or do either one of you play instruments?
Next year, I'm going into middle school, so I'm gonna do band and I'm gonna play the drums. So
Oh yeah, Mama, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, she's really good at the drums. Oh.
Luna, do you want to play anything?
I want to play the violin.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, see, y'all could start your own Dave Matthews tribute band.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, girls, I can't thank you enough for kind of popping in and being excited to be on this show. I think that that's really cool of you guys. I hope that I can meet you one day because I live in Arkansas too. Do you guys know where Fayetteville is? Have you heard of that city? Where the University of Arkansas is?
What'd you say?
Arkansas. I live in Arkansas just like you do. Did you know
Isn't
that?
that crazy?
I love Arkansas. It's a beautiful state. And I've been to Hot Springs Village many times. So I love where you live. Well, girls, thank you so much. I'm gonna talk to your mom and we're gonna kind of dig more into her story. So Ashley, if you're comfortable, thank you, girls. Ashley, if you're comfortable, I would love to kind of dig into what this music has been able to do. You know, we talked just briefly about the fact that this music has seen you through some difficult times. And I mean, difficult is not even the right word. I don't know the right word when it comes to losing a loved one, but especially the loss of a child. And so, I often hear that this music and the lyrics and the fan base in general have been so instrumental in helping people heal in whatever it is that they're healing from, cancer, death, just so many things, right, that are just parts of life. But that doesn't mean that it's not hard to get through. So what were some things about the Dave Matthews Band that did kind of shine some small light in that very dark part of your life?
Well, I love the lyrics, and that's what always has drawn me to them, and how they fit into my life so perfectly with what's going on at that exact moment. And then the instrumental, I'm like totally a jam band fan, so
Yeah.
I feel like I was always obsessed with them, like even from high school, like drawing them all over my notebooks and everything. So the happiest moments in my life have been at concerts, and I dream about going to concerts all the time and like being late, and those are my horror dreams.
I was late for this show and I missed the first song. What?
Yep. And so I like kind of shunned away from everything after his death and even the band, but then I started listening to them again on Sirius. I guess that's how you say that, Sirius XM.
Yeah.
And it just brought me right back to what made me the most happy in the world, and I was just right there again, and it really has been heartfelt healing, like hearing Dave scream in some of the songs, like getting it out. And,
getting it out.
And just the scats, I love his scats,
God,
and his dancing, and just this free-flowing, goofball is always, and I grew up in Virginia as part-time, like right outside of Charlottesville, so it was big out there. So
you were meant to be a fan. I mean, you were just born to be a fan.
Yep.
Well, I mean, the lyrics are so powerful. I mean, I think that no matter what emotion, that you're feeling, there's a song that can help you with that, or at least that's what I found in my experience. And I know that a lot of people kind of share in that story. One of those that comes up often, and again, there's so many, but as far as like just kind of like setting your life free, like I hear from so many people that Gray Street was just that song that even if they had heard it many times before, when they got at a certain point in their life, whether whatever the situation may have been, that song takes on a new meaning for them and is a tool to kind of help them get through that. I know that I've definitely used that song, and it has honestly empowered me in a few times in my life where I felt like I don't I don't know. Here's the question of the day. I don't know how he wrote a song that is so identifiable by so many people's hearts. I mean, like it's like he reached right into our brains and was like, this is, here you go. I don't know. And then we like to think when it comes to Gray Street that it's from a woman's perspective because that's kind of what is talking about in the song. But so many men are able to identify with that song too, because I think across the board, it's just breaking free. And of course, that's another one, but like just breaking free from whatever it is, whether that's addiction or, just, getting outside of our heads sometimes, because that can be really, really tough just to kind of turn yourself off and be like, all right, here we know. I'm my biggest enemy. I say that all of the time. Like I am my worst critic. I am my worst enemy. And so the music kind of helps set me free and like get out of my head sometimes, and sometimes set me straight, and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I forgot. I need to be this way. I need to be more loving and more. I mean, how they wrote these songs, I just don't know. But what I do know is that they just keep continuing to do it, right? Like, of course, they bust out an album last year, 2023. And while we were familiar with some of those songs, a lot we weren't, right? Because they were new. But even with those songs, they were still so relevant and so useful. Did y'all like the 20? I mean, of course you like the 2023 album, but like, do you feel that the music from that album shifted from, what they were singing about in the 90s?
I feel like he's always kind of had like an underlying beat of just knowing humanity's heart, and knowing what to say. Like, it's insane the different emotions he puts in songs and the lyrics, how they tie into so many emotions in people's lives in different perspectives. So
I agree. I think he was able to tap into, not that mental health hasn't always been important, because of course it has, but I think just in the last couple of years, it's been okay to talk about it out loud, because, so many years it was just something that we didn't talk about, and you may not even need to share that with your family because of a million different reasons. But now, we know that talking about it and having a support system, and and identifying what it is that is going, that is the road to help. And so they've really wrote that in their songs. I think about monsters, the monsters in your head. And I mean, they just keep nailing it with every single album. And that's what keeps me coming back for more. I mean, yeah, it's the music, it's the fans, it's the thing, but they keep staying relevant. It's not like a band from the 90s when they were 20, like singing about, in their plaid pajamas, like it's evolved, but it's only gotten better for me. What are y'all, I don't think there's any way you can compare like the 90s to now. But like, do you have a favorite decade of the Dave Matthews Band? Because I feel like each decade they've changed so much.
I do, but I'll let Deb go first.
No, I don't know if I really have a favorite, because on each one of the CDs, there's my favorite. It took me forever to listen to Squirm. I just hated it when it first came out.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I would just skip it every time, but then one time I just listened sort of half of it, and I thought, oh, I'll skip the rest of it, and then just but I mean, a lot of the really heavy songs, like Minarets and Halloween, they're not my favorites. I just like the ballads and the soft stuff, and see, that's why we go good, Ashley. So I mean, there's just on every album, there's just songs that I love and songs that I don't like as much, but I still love them.
Of course.
Go ahead, Ashley. Give it to me.
I love the busted stuff.
Ooh, yes! Oh my god, that's like my go-to right now. So good.
Digging a Ditch was my longtime favorite, so
I love that album, and honestly, I don't think that album gets enough credit. People kind of dog on it, and I'm like, do you understand like where half of those songs came from? Like, it's kind of a big deal, the Busted Stuff album, and there are so many like some of their, I don't know the words, but like the staples of the Dave Matthews Band that came out. I mean, I don't have it in front of me. I can't name songs off of albums. There's just no way I haven't learned that yet. But man, there's some great ones that can't be ignored. And so, it might not be your favorite, but like you said, Deb, every album has its hits, right? Like the ones that you love the most, or ones that made it really big and maybe even went like radio version or, whatever. But yeah, the decades are funny. It's the 90s, they just sounded different. And then in the 2000s, they were kind of sounding different. And then, 2010s, it kept going. And then honestly, now I love Dave's mature voice. Like I love it so much more than that kind of younger, squeaky-ish type 90s voice. I don't know. It's just my opinion, but I think he's kind of like a fine wine, right? Like he has matured with age.
I think Rab and his voice coaching has really, really pulled a lot into Dave's mature voice. So I don't think it's. I just think it's that voice coaching that's really.
That's right. It does have a lot to do with that because God, it requires so much of these guys to still be putting on music. They have to have a team of people that are taking care of them because there's no way you can sing for 30 years and your voice not be strained in some way or your vocal cords be strained in some way. And so it's important to not forget that they have all of those things, right? Like they have that vocal coach to work on that so that he doesn't tire out. But, it happens. We know that he, or we hear, I haven't talked with Dave. We think we know that he likes to drink tea on stage because you can always see that little paper tag. So, I think that it's like, them telling him if it is warm tea, like those are the things that are going to coat the throat and make it easier to sing. And along with, outside of that, like having a personal trainer that keeps you fit, keeps your diet ready. We've seen that working out is an important part of their life. And I'm just so thankful for whoever took those pictures. Send me more.
I said Jeff's red juice.
Oh my God.
I don't know what
I love it. All the pictures, all the behind the scene pictures though in general are my favorite. Like the places and the things that they're doing that we'll never get to see, like the camaraderie of the band, behind stage when they're just, they're just being best buds and brothers and enjoying life together. And that probably even outside of that, like because all of them, I don't know about Carter, but I think, and I don't know about Rashawn, but I think, most of them have children, right? And so I think that in a family atmosphere, like they know each other's kids and they probably spend time with them. And so it really is their family. And it's so good to see that they've been able, and I think that's why they've been able, or one of the reasons why they've been able to last so long is because they genuinely love each other. And there are not a lot of bands that have been able to last this long at all. And it's hard to get along with people, especially in confined quarters. And I know they have like their own buses and things like that, but that doesn't make being on the road easy, right? Like, and some days we're just going to have bad days. And maybe you didn't want to get on stage today because you found out your dog died or, whatever, but they work through it and they support each other and they're humans just like you and I. They've just got a lot more help than you and I, right?
and you can more help. You can see that they really love what they do when they're up there and the show's finished. They hug each other and they're just happy. They can have a bad day, but that 2.5, 3 hours they're on that stage, they're loving it. They are loving it.
They are. And that's beautiful, right? I think that's contagious and it makes people, I don't know, it's just like another thing that sticks out about this band is they love each other and they respect each other as far as like their craft, whatever, instrument that they play, they respect them. And I think they actually want to hear like, okay, what is Buddy going to do on the keyboards? Cause they don't know. I think, it's just kind of like, they're just free, just out there kind of doing what they do. They're a jam band. But, I watch Dave sometimes or a lot of times, whatever, but I watch him and like when he's letting one of the other guys have their moment and their solo moment, he will kind of move to the side stage because he wants you to focus in on what they're doing. And I love that he does that. I think, it's just really cool things about them. So let's talk more about your group. So I think in general, just, making a group, and then, all of the admin duties, but like, that's opened you up to meet some more people, which is, honestly been one of my favorite things about this podcast is just that it's just allowed me to meet so many cool people. And of course, that's the same for you guys. So do you guys have any fun stories or interesting people or experiences or things that people have shared with you in this group that just kind of have stuck out?
I know that when my son died, I had a lot of fans through the groups that I was in send me like things that they had personally made. Like this was one of the fans. They drew this and like sent it to me through the mail. And it's when you wake, you will fly away holding tight to the legs of all your angels. It was so sweet. But
wow,
the fans really helped me get through it, and just to have access to that with a group was incredible. That was really, really awesome.
Right. Deborah, any special things that have stuck out with this group to you?
It's just the friends that I've made, and they just, they like everything I post, and they comment on everything I post. So there's lots of pictures, there's lots of content on the in the group, and I mean, like Ashley said, if I'm available, I'll, like with the DMB Hub, I'll do a live thing of all the songs that's coming as they play them, and that kind of depends on the time zones usually. But it just the camaraderie, and the friends that I've met on there, and I've physically met lots of people from the group, so that's cool. So no matter where I go, I have a place.
I love those moments. Exactly. No matter what state you're traveling to, even if it's non-Dave Matthews Band related, we meet, we form these relationships. And then, if I go to California, I'm going to look up to see, hey, who's over here that, is my Dave people, and just get with them and have lunch, or whatever. Just it's friends in every direction, right? People in every direction. And so it's been so cool. So one of the new things I'm doing for season 5 is I created a Google voicemail, which I just thought it would be a cool way to have people call in and say, hey, because not everyone's comfortable with being on a podcast and sharing their story. Although I will say, I think it's an easy process. So far, has this been terrible for you guys? You sound like you would say, yes, it's been terrible, but it's easy, right? Like, it's easy. Oh, yeah. It's just me and you guys. We're not live. We're recording everything. And we mess up and we start over and we do it again. I don't know what I'm doing audio-wise. And so I'm just like, okay, what is happening here? But we figure it out. But it's not scary. But, if you do want to call in and do a shout out to your group, or maybe tell us what your favorite venue is or why you started liking the Dave Matthews Band, that is what this voicemail is for. So the phone number for that is 479-259-1630. You don't get me live, so you don't have to worry about, oh shit, I don't even know her, here I go calling her. No, it's just a voicemail. You call in, you leave a message, and then that opens you up to possibly being played on an episode, which is what we're going to do now. So you guys, let's listen to this voicemail and see how this fan feels about this music.
Hey, Renee, it's Jeffro. I felt compelled to call after just listening to your episode with my friends Christina and Thor. Wanted to introduce myself and just say thanks for doing a great job keeping the spirit of our favorite band alive. If you're looking for additional guests, I'd love to join. I have so many fantastic stories. My first show was back in 94 or 95. On Nashville's riverfront, seen at least 50 shows just at the Gorge, and of course lots of incredible friendships that I've formed by going to see my favorite band. So if you have any interest in or room in the future, need a guest, feel free to give me a call, 541.
Everybody,
I had not listened to that. I swear, it's so funny. But yeah, if you want to be on this show, I guess that this is the perfect time to say, how do you get on this show? It is so easy. Like Jeffro just did. He called that voicemail and was like, hey, I want to be on your show. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to call you back or text you back. And yeah, I mean, it's super easy. Anyone qualifies to be on the show. So you don't have to have ever seen them live. You definitely don't have to have seen them 50 times, even though, sometimes that's the story we hear. Anybody that loves the Dave Matthews Band qualifies to be on here because everybody's journey is different. So yeah, you can call that voicemail and say, hey, I'd love to be on that show. But thank you, Jeffro, for that sweet message. This podcast has just been more than I could have ever dreamed or thought of. And so I am having a blast. Let's do one more.
Hey, Renee. So the go-to DMB song for me right now is the song that Jane likes. I'm chasing this song now. I've never got to see it live. And also, I love the sound of the song, the rhythm, the lyrics, even if Dave says they're meaningless. I mean, just the way they flow. They mean something to me. Like when he talks about the days keep scribbling themselves in tidy lines. I mean, isn't that the truth when we're working, playing, whatever? I mean, I have 3 calendars that I keep with things just scribbled in between these tiny little boxes. And the days just go by so quickly. And, when he talks about, I'll be back around again, I'll walk in time with you, old friend, we'll find that place we danced in so long ago. That just reminds me of old friends just picking up where we left off, kind of like when we go to a show and we see people only at a concert and maybe we only can go, to 1 or 2 a year, and then we have to wait till next season to see you, and we just pick right up. So I just really enjoy that song. I hope you have a good day. Bye.
oh,
That was sweet. I love that message. Let's listen to it again. No. I am not tech savvy. Why I have a podcast? Well, I like to talk, so there's that. But as far as everything else, I'm just like winging it and seeing what happens. So, I'm doing my best. I'm a nurse. I'm not a podcaster. But I love that she brought that up because, it's an example, just kind of like we talked about earlier. Like each song can mean something completely different to each person. But again, that is the beauty of art, and music is part of art. And so we can interpret it in different ways. Even if Dave says those lyrics are meaningless, they might mean something to someone, and that can be really beautiful that they were able to pull something out of something that he gave the world with no intentions to give anything. But he did.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
You were frozen.
There, yeah. Just like the movie, but I'm not gonna let it go. Let it go. I'm not gonna do it. So, girls, one of the other things I'm doing in season 5 is Dave Matthews Band trivia. Are y'all down to do some of that? You've been a fan for a long time. I think you're gonna do well. This is one of my favorite parts. I have this Dave Matthews Band trivia book that I have made, and I take it to every show like I'm the leader of something. I don't know. It's so weird. I'm sure people think I'm like a nerd, but that's cool. I self-identify as a nerd, so I'm good with that. Just calling me what I am. Okay, so I have so many questions, and so let's start out. If you guys are listening to this at home, I'm going to read the question. And ladies, if you know the answer right away, just kind of let's have a pause. That way the people that may be listening to this at home or watching this on YouTube can have a chance to kind of rack their brain and place it and play along with this. So are you guys ready?
Ready?
Yes.
Hey, this is for no points and no money, so no pressure, right? No pressure. No pressure. Okay, let's see. We'll start this way. What song are these lyrics from? I will go in this way and find my own way out. I'm going to read that one more time, and I am purposely not singing it, and I'm not saying it in a certain way so that it makes it a little bit harder, because if I sang it, you'd be like, oh, okay, I know exactly what that is. So here we go. I'm going to read it one more time for those of you that are maybe listening at home. I will go in this way and find my own way out. Ladies, any thoughts on what that might be? Do you want me to sing it? I will, but it'll be awful.
Go ahead, sing it for us. Go ahead.
Oh no, you really want me to? Oh God, on the spot. Okay. No. I hear it in my head. I know. I'm just like, y'all, it's not my strength. I know my strengths and weaknesses, and singing is not a strength. It is definitely a weakness. Okay, so that's lyrics. As soon as I say it, y'all are going to be like, what? I know. It's number 41. It's number 41.
Yeah, that was what I thought.
Yes! I will go this way. I will go in this way and find my own way out. I won't tell. Are you there with me?
Yeah.
Join in. Cover my voice up.
Yeah.
So that's number 41. So if you guess that in your car, at home, at work, wherever you're listening to that, you got it right. Okay.
That was a lot of pressure. It's
I know, but you know what? No. But it's no pressure, right? Because again, it is what
my
it is.
brain freezes. It doesn't work.
No, me too. If I wouldn't know the answers if I didn't have the answers like right in front of me. So that's why I like to be the leader of the trivia and not on the other side, because I know all the answers. They're right in front of me. Okay, so let's see. In 2005, which movie did Dave Matthews appear in? I'll give you a hint. It was a children's movie-ish. So in 2005, Dave Matthews appeared in a movie called what?
Where the red fern
I
grows.
want to say it's what?
Where the red fern grows.
No.
Oh,
I mean, he may have been, but this is...
yeah, look at that.
I don't know. Was he in that? Oh, well, it might have been a different year. In 2005, Dave Matthews was in a sweet movie called Because of Winn-Dixie. Did you guys watch that?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Such a great movie. He played a character named Otis, and he worked in a pet store. And I just loved everything he did. Oh, bring the pickles. That's right. And he bought a big old jar of pickles. He just played the cutest character. Like, I love that movie. It's so sweet. My daughter actually had to read that book in school because they're still reading that book. And so, of course, me knowing that Dave Matthews is in the movie, I'm like, oh, let's watch the movie. She had no clue. So we're watching it, and then we get to that part where Otis is, and she's like, Mom, this was a trick. And I was like, no, I can't help what movies he's in. But yeah, he did a really good job. So that was Because of Winn-Dixie.
He also said that he was not a bad man. He was just an unlucky man.
He's not a bad man. I loved his character. I think that, I don't know. Again, I have met Dave. Obviously, I haven't got to sit down and shoot the shit with him, which I'd love to do that. I always say, people go, well, do you want to interview Dave Matthews? And I'm like, hell no. That's so much pressure. I don't want any part of that. However, I'd love to go hang out around a campfire and just shoot the shit with him and like talk about life and like not the Dave Matthews Band. Like that would be my deal. Because I don't want to talk about the Dave Matthews Band to Dave Matthews. That's boring to him. I'm sure he's like, oh, everybody talks about that. Let's talk about anything else. I don't care. Let's talk about anything. Okay, so let's see. I like this question just because I like reading it. Because it's so wild. Okay, what Dave Matthews Band song alludes to Native American persecution upon the arrival of the Europeans? What? That sounds crazy. Let me read that one more time. What song alludes to the Native American persecution when the Europeans arrived? Like, what song is he talking about? That.
Like Cortez the Killer.
We about to learn on the Space Between. Ashley, do you know?
It's like right on the tip of my tongue.
Well, once you know it, you will never forget it because it is crazy, but it is Don't Drink the Water.
Oh
That is what that song is about. Isn't that
Oh.
wild? That's so wild. But also, like, awesome. Awesome that he can write such a catchy song and be talking about something so, like, that really happened, and he just surprises me with every song. I'm like, dude, where's your brain? Like, it is everywhere. It's like,
yeah. I wouldn't want to be
again,
in there further.
no, but I mean, again, I'd love to just shoot the shit with him and see what he talks about. You never know. I like his awkwardness. Didn't you say that, Ashley? Like how quirky he is. I love that
Yeah.
about him. He just seems like he'd be a fun dude to hang out with. Just kind of
Oh yeah.
low key, like whatever kind of guy. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to do another bit of lyrics and see if you can identify these lyrics and tell me what song they are in. Okay. I dream myself 1,000 times around the world, but I can't get out of this place. I'm going to read that one more time for anybody that's listening at home. I dream myself 1,000 times around the world, but I can't get out of this place. Any thoughts?
I'm gonna say that's Gray Street.
Oh yeah, that's Gray Street. Yeah, such a great song. And if you're listening to this and you're a new fan, because again, that's the thing that I often forget is that this band obviously continues to pick up new fans because people are born and they grow up and they're exposed to this just like your girls are, and so all of this is new to them. So how fun to. I don't know if you've ever seen like the YouTube videos of when someone hears one of the Dave Matthews Band songs for the very first times. Have you seen that?
Love it. Yeah.
Oh, you homework, Ashley. You have to Google it.
Yeah,
That is so cool. I will have to Google that.
It's amazing to see their response. There's one definitely on 41. I don't. Is there one? Oh, Bartender. Yep. There's one where they watched that, listened to that for the first time. I mean, tears coming out of these people that hear it for the very first time. Oh, and they have no idea about like who the Dave Matthews Band is. They might have heard them or heard of them, but like as far as their music, they're unfamiliar with it. So they put on these headphones, just like I have on, and they play the song. And so you just sit there and you watch them listen to the song, which sounds weird, but also it's really cool because just looking at the expressions and they do talk a little bit like what and you can hear the music so you know what part they're listening to. It's so entertaining, and I dig knowing about or seeing people at shows that this is their very first time. Sometimes I'm like more interested in watching them than watching what's going on, and that's so weird. But like, it's so good to see somebody just enjoy it, because I remember what that felt like, and I still get that feeling. But like my first time. Ooh, that was amazing. And there's not a lot of music that's made me feel that way. And so, the Dave Matthews Band will forever be my favorite. And how lucky are we guys that we still even have them, right? Carter is 65-ish, 66, whatever. Not that that's old, but like he's been doing this. So he was in a band. Ooh, here's a trivia question. He was in a band before the Dave Matthews Band from like 1986 to 1990. Do you know what the name of the band was?
No idea.
It was a band called Secrets. I am such a nerd, y'all. I didn't even have to have my book. I was just like, speaking of Carter.
That is awesome.
Anyways, he's 65, 66, whatever, and he's been doing this since at least we know 1986, as far back as like I know. That is a very long time to play the drums. And if you think about just like the body mechanics of playing the drums, it's got to be hard on your joints, on your wrist. I'm sure he has a medical team that is, making sure he's tip top all the time. But at some point, like, you know, at some point, I don't know. I don't know how long. There's a lot of bands that, you know, especially now, it's like some of the older 80 and 90s bands are coming back around. And yeah, I remember, well, and this was not even the 80s or 90s. What era did Earth, Wind, and Fire come out? Do you know?
60
What was it?
in the
The
60s.
60s? I have no idea, but they, oh, okay, the 60s. So, I mean, that's been a really long time. So, I got to see them a few years ago. They came to Arkansas, and I was like, yeah, I've heard of their music. I want to see them live because honestly, I couldn't believe they were still performing. And of course, these dudes are not young, but they were killing it. Like the drummer, I mean, everybody was just killing it. And I don't know how. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it, and I'm just so thankful that we still have this band, and who knows how much longer. And so I'm gonna continue to enjoy it for as long as I can before we need support groups, right? Because then all of these DMB family groups that are on Facebook are gonna turn into the real DMB family support group, right? So get ready.
So true.
It's coming.
And now they're
Lifelong obsessions.
Do
and
what?
now they're, and
They're
now they're
lifelong obsessions.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, you know, everybody's gonna know who
Let's
they are.
talk about that. Yeah, I mean, that's so exciting. I mean, I of course, I think that they deserve it. I know that y'all feel the same way. What an honor to be in that group, and this year's inductee class. Holy shit! Like,
Yeah.
what a great class to be a part of. I mean, every year is great, but I'm just so excited for them. I'm excited that, of course, we won the fan vote, which we know that that's not everything, but I think that it does, again, just show the band like, hey, we are backing you guys up. We love you. We want to support you. I mean, that's what I get out of the fan vote, is just hopefully in some small way they see, and they know. I think they know. But can they ever really know the impact that they've made? No, there's no way. But the amount of people that they've really just imprinted on their heart and left a forever scar, if you will, but in a beautiful way, on their heart. And then, it's we're just so damn lucky, right? So
That's right.
damn lucky. I'm so excited. So what does 2024 look like for you guys? Are you planning on being on the road anywhere, or is 2024 a couch tour year for you guys? What does it look like for you guys?
It is definitely a couch tour for me. I'm saving up some money right now. So I got to go last year to Orange Beach, Alabama for my first U.S. show. I've only been to 6 shows in total, including Orange Beach. And I was supposed to go with a good friend of mine, and she got sick. So here I am with all my anxiety, driving from Gulfport, Mississippi it took 3 hours or so, all by myself, getting to the hotel and doing all that stuff and driving to the venue, walking through the line, going through security all by myself. And I ended up sitting next to the best people in the world. I gave my extra ticket to Will Call in case anybody, wanted it or, asked for it, but it wasn't sold out, I don't think. But it was an outdoor venue. I'd never been to an outdoor venue, so that was fun. It was hot, 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 but we made it, and it was a great experience. I had heard about how loud the American fans were and all that stuff, because in Europe the fans are very respectful, except the crazy Americans that come over there and get drunk and that kind of stuff. But I mean, I've seen 3 times in Amsterdam, once in Scotland, and once in Manchester, and I got to meet with Sean in Manchester, so that was pretty cool. But
Oh yeah,
I
that's
enjoyed
really
my
cool.
very first U.S. show. So 2024 is a no show for me except the couch
Well,
tour.
that's okay. I mean, I see you did it though. You did it all by yourself, and then
I
you
did
ended
it.
up having this great experience.
It was wonderful. I'd
Yeah,
do it
you're
again.
never alone.
Yep.
Yes, and I'm sure that you will. I'm sure that you will. So, Ashley, is this year a couch tour year for you as well?
Oh no, I put all
She
my
was like,
efforts in.
no. Where are you
I
headed?
actually have really good seats this year, and they've only been my 2 little ones that were just on there have only been in one other tour in 2022. and it was pretty incredible for them. They got cookies with Dave's face on it, and they got pinned in the bathroom line, so it was pretty cool.
What?
And seeing my little girls just like go free and dance like that, I know it was like the best time of my life all over again, but for them, and like now it's gonna be the best times of their lives. And so they're going with me. We've got really good seats in the Woodlands and in Dallas. I'm taking one to each show, and then in Colorado we're gonna be at both nights with all my girls. I have one other girl. Her name's Lily. She's 21. And she loves the Dave Matthews Band, and she's going to be with me there, and we've got really good seats, so I'm really excited about this year. Like, it is going to be amazing. Like,
It is. It always is, right? No matter the year, it's always good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited because I'll see you, of course. I just got to give you my number because it is, you get there and then you kind of put your phone down and you're just like, okay, we're going to focus on, and then, you can't find anybody because you don't have your phone on you. And it's just, so we've got to make it a point to like hang out. If we're going to be at 2 different concerts together, then we got to hang out for sure. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just kind of finalized today, which is crazy because Houston's like, I don't know, days away. And I was like, oh, I didn't book a hotel. Jesus. Well, it all worked out. But yeah, I'm excited about Dallas because Dallas is only about a 5-hour drive for me, so it's not terrible. But my husband gets to come with me, and that doesn't always happen. And so it's going to be really, really exciting. So I look forward to seeing you.
Yeah.
And see the girls. You'll have to tell them that I'll be sure. I'm going to try to remember Luna and Lyra, but I'm telling you right now, I have trouble identifying my own children. So it's just like started pointing, going, you come here. It's just a lot. And they wear name tags all the time. Well, girls, thank you so much I don't know if you can hear me, but thank you for sharing what music you like and that you don't like Taylor Swift. I like that you said that, man. These are all opinions, and I love that, music is one of those things. There's so many different types of music and so many different artists that anyone can find some kind of music that they like. And so I look forward to seeing you guys in Texas. And Deborah, I can't wait to see all of the statistics and the set lists that you're going to put up in the Real DMV family. Because, hey, we need those things. Like, we crave information. And thankfully, there are so many amazing tools for looking up, have I ever heard this song before? When was the last time this song was played? Or those type, we do have the hub. And then, of course, we have the Almanac, which is another great resource. And so thank you for keeping the fans in the know when it comes to this music that we love.
You're welcome. I'm happy to do it.
Absolutely. Well, guys, if you, again, are interested in being on this show, all you have to do is reach out to me on any social. Of course, on Facebook, it's a group, just the Space Between Podcast. On Instagram, it's the Space Between _POD. And then on TikTok, it's the Space Between Podcast. So you can reach out on that voicemail too. So anyway, just let me know if you want to be on the show, and we will let you come on the show and talk about your journey with the Dave Matthews Band. But in the meantime, stay watching these socials, because again, the Space Between will be all over, just doing collecting more stories about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. So stay tuned for all of that. But in the meantime, guys, peace, love, and Dave Matthews Band. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.